Team, welcome back to AskTop.net, sponsored by MentorMilitary.com. I'm your host, Command Sergeant Major Mark Garrett, and today we're going to talk about rehabilitative transfers and how to request one. Before we get started, I'd like to say thank you for all the following, the likes, the comments, the subscriptions to AskTop and Mentor Military videos. Can't thank you enough. If there's ever a class you want us to teach, please feel free to reach out on Facebook and tell us what it is. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the class. So we're going to talk about how to request transfer. This is part 2 in a 3-part series. The regulation is 635-200. It handles separations and rehabilitative measures and rehabilitative measures and rehabilitative transfers. So we're going to provide some information on how to request one. As I've already said, here are some reasons, potential reasons for requesting a transfer. You got a severe personality conflict with a leader. You've had an Article 15. Maybe you feel that you're a little tainted and won't get a fair shot by current leadership. You were undisciplined. And again, you don't feel like you're going to get a fair shot in rehabilitation. Same thing with pattern of misconduct. You become a conscientious objector. And during that time, while your case is being adjudicated, you want to be moved to some other duties or another unit. EO offense. Perhaps the individual was convicted of an EO violation. Convicted's the wrong word. A substantiated investigation was found, and that individual is moved to another unit. Hazing or bullying, you are the victim of that, or you could be the one inflicting those two things and found guilty of it, and you need to be placed someplace else. So rehab transfers do not apply in the following situations. We covered this in part 1. 2 physical fitness failures, pregnancy at entry level, disruptive, potentially suicidal behavior, actions resistant to rehab, soldiers assigned to small units in remote locations. We'll discuss that later in another presentation. Situations where transfer would be detrimental to the Army. So what are some reasons that there's resistance when people ask for transfers? The first one is being seen as a poor leader. People want to fix their own problems. So if I allow someone to be transferred, then I'm not a good leader. So lack of regulatory knowledge. They're not familiar with the transfer process, how it works, and how it's designed to give someone a fair chance to rehabilitate. Lack of experience. Again, that goes back to just not knowing. They don't want to pass an issue on. They want to fix it themselves because they believe if they're passing on a problem, that that's not the right thing to do, versus looking at it as providing the soldier an opportunity to recover. There's also vindictive personalities. They want to get back at somebody, and immaturity. So those are some of the resistance you get from leadership when someone's asking for transfers. So let's talk about potential courses of action. Use the chain of command. That is your best option. Solve the problem at the lowest possible level. The lowest possible level. If, for example, you're having a problem with your squad leader, talk to your squad leader, ask to see the platoon sergeant and the platoon leader. Many times that issue can be solved right there, with you either remaining in that squad or being moved to another squad. Typically a transfer is between battalion and higher units, but there's nothing wrong with moving someone to another squad or another platoon within a company, or moving them under another supervisor with an MOS and material skill. Open door policy. You just don't get anywhere with the platoon sergeant and platoon leader. You ask to see the commander and the first sergeant on open door policy. If that doesn't work, you can go up to the battalion commander and CSM. At some point, you have to choose your battles. If you're not making any headway by the time you get to the commander and first sergeant, maybe you shouldn't go see the battalion sergeant major and commander. Maybe you need to refocus and ask yourself a question. Am I going about this the right way? Is this as serious as I believe it is? If so, continue your course of action. The last one is see the chaplain. Develop your reasoning. This slide is incredibly important because this is going to help you establish your rationale and why this is critically important, or why the transfer is so important. Read the regulation. I cannot emphasize that enough. Know and understand what the regulation says. Develop your reasoning. Provide facts. Remove emotion and blame. The last thing you want to do is be blaming people, but you do want to state facts. Describe the benefits that the transfer will have. What type of transfer are you asking for? Keep in mind, again, a true rehabilitative transfer is battalion or higher. So somewhere in the battalion from company to company, or somewhere within the brigade to another battalion. But you can also request to go to a squad or platoon. So now you need to write a 1 to 2 page document detailing your request. Have it proved by a disinterested party that is good at writing. Request an appointment with the person in the chain of command that you wish to speak with. If they do not grant the transfer you're requesting, seek an appointment with the next leader in the chain of command. Develop your reasoning. Know the leader's personality. Know how they may react. Understand how to talk to them. Your attitude, tone, and timing are critical to your success. Anticipate the questions they may ask and be ready to answer them. What are some questions you should ask yourself? First, pick your battles. Is this really the battle you want to fight? Is it that important? Do you really want to raise it to that level? Why is this transfer so important to you? What are the results if the transfer is not approved? How's it going to impact you? How's it going to impact the unit? Think about this. It's possible that the other person may be coming down on orders, is already on orders, or you've been in the unit long enough that you might be coming down on orders. So should you just ride it out? You have to make that decision. Are you looking at this situation from a factual and reasonable perspective? What would a reasonable, disinterested party say? Would they observe it and say, yeah, there's something wrong. We need to look at moving this individual? Do you have any witnesses or individuals that can speak on your behalf or provide a statement on your behalf why they believe the transfer is important, or the facts behind why they think a transfer is reasonable? These would be your leaders, your squad leader, your platoon sergeant, or senior leaders somewhere else in the unit. And they may be willing to speak on your behalf or provide a statement. Here are some thoughts about it. It's a small world in the Army. You may leave this unit and end up working for this person again, or them being in the same unit that you're in later. Be professional with how you deal with this issue. Try not to create enemies. Your actions will have second and third order consequences. You need to think about them, understand them before you proceed. Because sometimes we forget about unintended consequences, and they can be worse than the current situation you're in now. So today we talked about know what you want, be able to articulate it in writing, be factual and emotional, schedule an appointment, anticipate the questions you'll be asked, understand the consequences. Now, all of this said, requesting a transfer, as I said earlier, is all about timing, attitude, and tone. Poor timing with an appointment with an individual when they're busy with something else, when they're frustrated, how you approach them with your attitude, your tone. If you go in a demanding way, it would probably be very negative. So treat them like you want to be treated. Keep it professional, factual, and unemotional. So hope this class was beneficial today, and want you to reach out to us on Facebook at ASTOP and Mentor Military, and visit our website at mentormilitary.com. Please subscribe and give us some ideas for future classes. Look forward to seeing you in the future.